Hey, what's going on, everyone? Joe Menza here, and today I am looking at the Fuumuui cotton watercolor paper. And as you can see, this is cold press. It's 100% cotton. Just to show you the edge, this is a pad. You have to separate these like with a palette knife or something. You can see the little bit of grain that's going on here. And it's a nice little travel pad. And then the next thing that Fuumuui sent me was these artist brushes. These are a set of 8 brushes. These are Kolinsky Sable, according to their online information. Comes in a very, very nice box. If you were giving a gift to somebody or wanted someone to give you this as a gift, it'd be very nice to receive these. And there's a nice variety of brushes in here. So I'll lay these out and you can take a look at them. You can see there's some fine points, there's some nice rounds, all different sizes. Very nice wooden looking handle, nice ferrule. It's tightly together. And you got the cat's tongue, as they call it, with the point in the middle. I like that brush quite a bit. And if you use rounds, I think these are very good brushes from what I could tell. I did a couple paintings before this, before I recorded my final recording of this, and you soak them in a little bit of water like this here, and they're pretty much ready to go. Now, I use larger brushes. I use goat hair, and I use bigger brushes. So these are not really ones that I use, but I will use them for a certain situation, especially if you're doing urban landscapes or, that kind of thing. But definitely good. And now the cotton watercolor paper. They sent me this cotton watercolor paper, which is the smaller size. They have 2 sizes. And I actually went on Amazon and I bought the 9x12. I liked it. I thought it was very affordable, economical. And if you go to the website, which I'll have that in the description. So right now I'm using some ultramarine. These are Daniel Smith colors here that I have in my little Daniel Smith portable pan kit. I've added that with a little bit of white. And here's the cat tongue. So you can go in and you can use that tip. So that makes it a very interesting little brush. Had a couple of hairs shed with these, but nothing out of the ordinary that you wouldn't experience with, this type of brush. You're gonna lose hairs. Now the other ones that I had done from Fuumuui, those brushes that were in the little case, those didn't shed any hairs out of them. Maybe one hair. So you can see here as I use this little brush here, you can use this as a point, you can press it, and you can use it as a larger brush. I would use this brush like on a regular basis. You can use it for detail, you can use it for regular, holds water very nicely. Now they say Kolinsky Sable. I wouldn't know a Kolinsky Sable from, I don't buy expensive brushes, but they seem like they do the job very well, very soft, very nice brushes. So again, back to the cat's tongue, as I've heard this one called, might go by other names. But see, you can use the little point here, and there's enough bristles on the brush that you can carry water, so it makes a good detail brush. Not fine detail, but you can do detail. You can do like calligraphy type writing, and you can carry enough water on the brush. So this is the second set of brushes that I've reviewed or tried. I don't know if you call what I do reviews, but I'll try them and see if I like them. This is the second set of brushes Fuumuui sent me. The first set was the travel set. To go back and watch that. There was 3, which I put in my bag and I take with me wherever I go. So they're very handy, very, very good brushes. If you haven't seen that video, watch that video. And then they sent me this set of 8 brushes and the pad of paper, which was really nice of them. They have a website that you can order from and free shipping, which will be in my description. And you can try out whatever brushes that they have or paper on the website. They've got a lot. They've got oil brushes. They've got acrylic brushes. I could go broke on their website alone. The only thing I wanted them to carry is a wider watercolor brush, something like a goat hair type brush. I've asked them to look into maybe making a type of goat hair brush, so we'll see if they can come up with something. So we'll see how that goes. But for right now, they sent me these brushes. And like I said, I had a couple little hairs fall out, but nothing major. I've bought cheap brushes in the past, honestly. I've bought brushes from Amazon. I've bought brushes from the Master's Touch brushes. And I've bought some very inexpensive brushes. I don't want to call them cheap, but, you know, the problem with brushes that are low budget, they're budget brushes, and why I try to stay away from them is because they don't last long. Before you know it, they've worn out, the bristles have broken down, they just don't last. And I'm very hard on my brushes. See, now this here with the round. Now I'm not really good at making these pine trees, I'll admit, with the round brush. I need a little practice on that. Normally I would use a hog bristle fan brush. But this is okay. This is probably how someone else might, do it that's used to, I think a lot of people paint with rounds. They're used to like drawing and writing with pens and markers. And I have a hard time with it. And I'll be honest with the audience for this. Something I've never said on a video, I don't think. But about, I want to say a little over 30 years ago, I smashed my right hand in a machine, in a paper cutter machine. It was a freak accident. This particular machine, though, it didn't have the proper safety on there. It bothers me even talking about it, but somebody walked in and I got distracted and my hand went into the gap and it got stuck in there, and I have PTSD from it. I swear it bothers me. So I can't really do like fine. I have a hard time with that. So that's why the big brush, fast and loose, appeals to me. It's hard for me. I have to use all my fingers to hold a pen or pencil. I always did anyways, but to my index finger and my middle finger, I had to have like 30 something micro stitches in each finger. And luckily I still have my fingers. You hear the old joke about printers, because I was in graphic arts and printing. How many fingers do you have, I still have all mine after almost 20 years in the graphic arts and printing business. I came out of it with all my fingers intact, but 2 of them damaged. I'll tell you what, that was some pain. That was more pain than I've had in a long time. I remember, and when I talk about it, I like squeeze my hand into a fist because I'm like, it just bothers me to that point. So I don't really paint like I would if I was using a pencil. So drawing is kind of hard, writing is kind of hard. And I'll tell you, with the new technology that we have today, typing is fine. I can use my phone or, iPad, computer. Don't do a whole lot of writing with a pen or pencil anymore. It's becoming a lost art, I think. So I am still working here with these Fuumuui brushes, the good people at Fuumuui. I was in an art store the other day, and they have all the brushes in one aisle. And I noticed like the Escoda brushes, and there was one other high-end brush. They don't even have them out. You have to ask to see them. And, they have the rounds and the Kolinsky Sable and all that. And these here, I've never used a really super expensive brush. I'd like to try one. You know, they always say the better the brush doesn't make you a better artist. But if you have a brush that the bristles aren't falling out of all the time, or it's wearing down, or, you know, something like that, it's your tools are going to be better. You want better tools. You know, you do want better tools. And brushes are important if you can get a couple good brushes. So I like the goat hair brushes, the Ron Ranson brushes. They are inexpensive in the big scheme of brush pricing, you know. Now here I'm not even using the brush. I'm just putting on a little snow with my finger, a little white gouache. Just wanted a little bit of a snowy mountain, something I like to do. I know the purist will say, wait a minute, don't put any white on there. But that's okay. We paint what we want to paint. We paint how we want to paint, what we like. Besides that, I want to see how, like, if I dry brush this off my finger, how this Fuumuui cotton paper is. And look, it makes a nice little, you can see the grain of the paper. I like to make a little blue shadowy color and put that on the shadow side. And we have instant definition to those mountains in the background. I do a lot of mountain painting. It's one of my favorite subjects. So if you're new to the channel, you're going to see a lot of mountains being painted. Mountains, water would be the close runner-up, and of course trees. Now skies, I don't want to leave skies out. I like doing them, but you'll see, if you know, skies are like one of the hardest things to be happy with in watercolor painting, maybe any painting. But watercolor painting, they're just, it's always a challenge. Now I mix in a little bit of white. I've seen a couple of artists that are, you know, renowned watercolor artists, and they'll use things like buff titanium. Buff titanium is like a titanium white with a little yellow in it. And I've also seen another color, I think it's Holbein makes it, it's lavender. And it's like this purple color that has had purple added to the white. And I forget the name of it. It has like a number name to it. But if you look up Holbein, you look up lavender, you'll see this particular color. And it's for like, I think the one artist that I saw use it for like highlighting and things like that, primarily urban landscapes. I've used it. It's actually a nice color, and the buff titanium is good too. It just puts a little skew of a yellow on the white. And here's their flat brush. Now I'm not using all the brushes in the set. After I painted this one, I went on and I did 3 more small paintings. Maybe I'll put those out as separate videos. I did 3 more small paintings with these brushes, and I liked them. I did like them. I will say, though, I like the travel brushes. There's just something about putting them in the little case. You unscrew them, and you throw them in your bag. And they have more of those on the Fuumuui website, too. So if you like travel brushes, because I know brands like Escoda, they make like a travel, they make a few different travel ones. I was looking at those one time on Amazon. I think they were like $60, $80 something. You get a set of 3. And these Fuumuui brushes, $20, you know, you can get a nice set of brushes for like $20. I'm all about the, you know, being economical. And this set that comes with the paper and the brushes, you can't lose. Look how nice this paper is. I hope they continue carrying this paper. And after I made this painting, I went on Amazon and I ordered because it was out of stock on their website. Sorry, Fuumuui website, but I did order Fuumuui paper. I bought the 9x12 Fuumuui paper. So just a hint to the Fuumuui people, get that paper back in stock on your website. Sell maybe 3 pads in a pack. because I'll buy it. I liked it. And maybe get some 11 by 14, 12 by 15. See if you can get some bigger sizes in stock, because I'm definitely on board for buying. It's a good paper. Kind of reminds me of fluid paper, but I think it's a little bit better. I think I liked it a little bit more. So this one's nearly done. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing some different brushes used with some different paints, and I'll try to keep doing that. And I'm putting out little shorts. By the way, if you're watching those shorts, you know, they do help the channel, the algorithm and all that stuff. And you can click on the bottom. A lot of people don't know, and it'll take you to the actual original video. So if you see a little clip that you like, click on the bottom, and it'll take you and it'll show you the original video. As for this year, I want to do more content. I want to try to do more painting, more relaxation, and things like that. Hopefully traveling to sites like I did last year. I went to Colorado and I got some good inspiration there. And I'll take my Fuumuui travel brushes when I go. Like I said, they sent them to me totally free of charge. And honestly, if I thought a product was bad, I'm not one, I really don't like the negativity factor. If the product was bad, I probably wouldn't even do the video. I probably wouldn't release the video. So I'm going to be one of those. I'll only put it out if it's good. If it's bad, I'd go back and tell the company, hey, didn't really like your product. Go back to the drawing board. You know, send me something better. I'm not even going to do a video of this, you know. But when I did this one, I'm like, these are nice brushes. I mean, if I was a rounds user, 100% for sure, I don't see why you wouldn't use these. So I hope everybody's doing well in their watercolor painting. They're having a good time. If you haven't picked up a brush, I don't care if you pick up a brush, you can get one brush and you can get burnt umber and some paper and just play. That's a good way to get started. When I started, I bought one of those little strips with the little cakes in there. I think it cost me $2. And I said, this isn't bad. This is fun, you know. The watercolor painting, it's easy. You can sit back and you don't have to worry about cleanup, you know, and all that. And I said to myself, there's got to be people painting with watercolor. I know people, and I've seen YouTube videos of other things. There are people out there that are really good in this medium. I didn't know, this is several years ago, and I only thought about oil painting, acrylic, and I thought, you know, Bob Ross and all that stuff. And I thought, there's going to be people out here that are geniuses with this. And I went online, sure enough, I found plenty of people on YouTube painting with watercolor in tubes. I didn't even know there were tubes. This stuff comes in tubes? That's how green I was on watercolor. And here I am. A lot of hours spent, a lot of money spent. And that's why I've told people, hey, shop at Walmart, pick up a few things there. Get started, see if you like it. And then as you go down the road, you're going to say, you know what, I'd like better quality materials. You know, get better paints. Although Cotman is, you know, from Winsor & Newton, Cotman is a very good, solid paint. You can't go wrong with it. The thing you have to watch when buying paints, even high-end paints, you got to watch like the alizarin crimsons and stuff. Some of them are not light fast, and if you hang them near a window, they're going to fade on you. And you have to have permanent alizarin crimson. You know, as like Daniel Smith, I got a set of theirs, and I looked at it right away. Actually, I got a new set of Daniel Smith. I got the long tin of the pans. I really like pans. I like the pans because like they're so convenient. You know, there's nothing, freshly squeezed paint is the best, but pans, watercolor pans are just so convenient. Throw them in your bag with this little pad of Fuumuui and these brushes, and you'll have the time of your life. You will have the time of your life. So I'm using Daniel Smith paint. You don't have to. You can use Cotman. I used to use very, very cheap paint, but I just wanted to show what could be done with less expensive paint, because I know a lot of people out there are on a budget and they're going to go to Walmart and buy paint and paper and stuff like that. So I wanted to show, what can you get out of that? Can you do this? Can you, and you can get results. But there might come a time where you get to a point to where you want to upgrade. You want to splurge. There's another brush here. I want to try, a little bit of each brush. And I'll beat on the brushes for sure. I'm going to check the Fuumuui website again. They give them to you in a nice box, but it would be nice to have the brushes maybe in one of those zipper cases. I have one. I have a nice zipper case, and it has the little slots for the brushes. And if they don't have one on their website, they should have one in a set like that. Taking a little bit of white here, like this is how I trim bushes, by the way, and see if you like this idea. But I'll mix a little, if I have the sky color already, I'll make a little sky color, and I'll go in and I'll trim the bush. I'll go around it a little bit with this white. I think it creates a neat effect. I don't know, what do you think? So you mix a little white gouache or a little Chinese white on the end of the brush. Use it for the water, use it for the sky. But definitely, yeah, pick up the brush and give it a try. There's been a lot of talk lately about anxiety and mental health with painting, and it's becoming a really, really big topic. And from my own perspective, I will say it is very helpful for me for anxiety. And there's a lot of people with anxiety out there. How could you not have anxiety? Turn on the TV for 5 minutes and you'll have it. But turn off the TV and go paint a little bit. And there's something about painting, and I think the reason why it works for mental health is that you're focused. Your mind, when you're painting, your mind tunes out the noise because you're very focused in on what you're doing. And so the noise gets tuned out. And that's the most I can say. And I don't care if you want to do like abstract, even say, well, I can't paint. I can't do anything like that. Then get some canvas, even paper. You can use paper, get a small set of acrylic paints and just make shapes. Just make, just put color on paper. Just like when you were a kid. Throw some paper down, put a little splash, a little color on there. The thing I like about acrylics is they do dry fast, although now they've come out with some acrylics that dry slow. They have slow drying medium you can put in there, and they have all different kinds of options so that, the acrylic and watercolor are very, very close. And the cleanup is similar, but it does dry quickly. It's a little harder on brushes. These brushes here are for watercolor. I don't know if they're for acrylic. I have to check the website, but for me, I think acrylic needs a little more, like a bristly type brush. And they have them on the Fuumuui website. They have paint also on the Fuumuui website, but I have not tried that yet. By the way, this board that I'm using, I got this, I think, in an art store. It's great to put on just like your coffee table or something. It's called Art Pop, and it's just a small little easel with a drawer. It's very simple. And the little lip folds down. You can put your paper on it. You see on the trees up on top how that blended in with that blue? And it looks like part of the sky. Kind of don't know where the tree ends, the sky is. It's kind of created like a softened effect there. And you can come back in like I'm doing now, just put a little dark in there. Just put a little shadowy color in there. Sometimes I do that. I'll go back and forth. I'll go light, dark, You got to be careful. You don't want to overwork it or turn it to mud. But these little sketchbooks and these little pads and things, a lot of times these are going to be, your personal little archive. And you're going to put them to the side. You'll look at them later. Like I have stacks and stacks of paintings that I worked at, fussed over. And it's like, why? It's like it was fun at the time. But, you're not going to sell them all. You might. I've sold somewhere in the neighborhood, I think about 175 paintings over time. And then I kind of got tired of listing them and putting up photos and things like that. So I haven't put any up in a while. But if anybody sees, you can go on Instagram, and if you see a painting you like and you wanted to buy it, let me know. I'll list it and you can buy it. I have an eBay shop. I have an Etsy shop. I don't sell them for a lot. The fact that someone would want to hang something I painted on their wall is enough for me, Well, I spent a lot of time on this painting, huh? But that's okay. Having fun, doing a little highlight here with the Fuumuui. You got good brushes, good paper, and good paint. You can have a good time. You don't want to stop painting. So here's the finished product. Thank you, Fuumuui. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We'll see you next time.